Look, I truly believe that when we come onto this planet, we're not meant to be by ourselves for the rest of our existence. I do believe that we all have a divine counterpart, divinely meant for us when the time is right. But the thing is, we've been so conditioned to believe that another person, a relationship, is meant to complete us. Like that story where Zeus took two people that were together, two bodies, two souls, two everything, and separated them, and we had to spend our entire existence looking for one another. And that to me just showed me how conditional we are in love and how we don't really understand the true meaning behind relationships. But on today's video, I want to share with you the true purpose behind a relationship and knowing the difference between toxic love and real love. And I guarantee you, everything I'm going to share with you and you start applying into your life, you will start to understand what a relationship is all about, to the point that you will understand unconditional love versus conditional love. What is Gucci, you beautiful beings? Welcome back on another episode on Embrace the Ascension series with your homegirl, Brittany Fontanez. If you're new to this channel, welcome to the AwakenOne's community. I am an intuitive shaman healer. I'm a psychic tarot reader. On this channel, I speak about spiritual development, emotional awareness, do guided readings for each zodiac sign, and I talk about things I feel need to be talked about because our divine right to know more than what we've been told. And my whole goal for my channel is to assist people in awakening to deeper levels of healing and understanding their true existence upon this planet. But other than that, if you want to know anything about me or my business inquiries, all that information is down in the description box below. But today, beautiful beings, I want to talk about the true purpose behind relationships. Now, I said in the beginning how I feel that we have been so conditioned to only seek love in such a conditional way where it serves us, but it doesn't really serve the purpose behind two individuals. And I feel because of this, we have really seeked love in such a toxic, harmful ways where both people, and a lot of people actually nowadays, are in very toxic connections, very toxic relationships, and they have a tendency to always blame the other person, but not realizing why they're attracting certain people in their lives, and why is it that they go through this endless cycle of repeating things that continuously create even more trauma regarding love. And I'm a huge believer that love doesn't cause pain and hurt people. So that's how I usually see it. And I would know because I used to be this myself. But I want to talk about the word relationship itself. Really look at the words. I love how everything has been created, this entire universe, because there's a huge purpose behind all of it. And like I said, I do believe that we all have a divine counterpart. We're not meant to be by ourselves for the rest of our existence, but we will never truly have that harmonious relationship that fulfills our heart until we truly understand what love for self is and what love is in general and the purpose behind a relationship. Now, if you look at the word relationship, let's break it down. You got real. What does real mean? It means it's non-fictional. It means there's something existing in this present moment right now. Even though reality could be switched up by your beliefs, regardless of your physical circumstances, real means what is true to the soul, meaning that it is non-fictional. Now let's look at from relationship to ish. That's the best way I can explain it. Tion. This intrigued me so much because ish, the meaning of this word really is all about action. So you're taking a considerable, conscious, realistic action. Now, at the end of relationship, you have ship. Majority of people would think this is a vessel, this is a ship. But if it's in relationship, it really means the holding of two individuals and creating a foundation and a grounding point to build something. So meaning pretty much holding a huge space of unconditional love or toxicity. So now that we got through the word relationship, there's a huge meaning behind it all. It means showing up as your vulnerable, authentic self, taking considerable conscious actions to create something that could be very beneficial, very big, and very possible. And see the beauty behind that? That's such beauty, knowing that that little word emphasizes something so beautiful. Now, I want to help you guys know the difference between healthy love and toxic love. Now, before we get into these 3 tips I want to share with you of understanding the differences, I first want to share with you why I want to explain this, because, you know, I have been through the fucking ringer when it comes to love. I have been through the ringer with hurting other people and having other people hurt me. And I always was that person blaming the other person, never taking accountability. But the last relationship I was in was really traumatic for me, even spiritually traumatic for me, to the point that, you know, I literally shifted massively on how I see love and relationships. And it was to the point that I really had to take ownership of my own toxicity and realizing that we all have to understand a relationship. An external relationship with another person is really a reflection of the internal relationship we have with ourselves. And this is why it's so important to implement self-love and to see the priority and the importance of self-love, because the way you treat yourself is the way you treat another person. And a lot of us are very unconscious of our toxicity because we're so rooted in our ego and our pride and thinking that we are right and thinking that we're so precious that there's nothing wrong with us. I'm not here to say there's something wrong with you. I'm here to say we're all imperfect. And like for me, I always thought that I was perfect and the other person had to meet my priorities, and I never really held space for forgiveness, for compassion, for love, because I was so judgmental and I was so hurtful with my words and my actions itself, to the point that when I started to take accountability for why relationships weren't working out, I started to realize, yes, it does take 2 people to tango, but it does take one person to actually shift the paradigm within a connection. And I started to realize, wow, I could have done better. I could have done better in this area and forgiving and communicating and showing up. But I had to realize that I was unconscious of my patterns because I've learned my love language from my parents. And I also had to realize the way that I was mimicking what I was taught about love. And this happens for all of us. That's why I highly suggest that we all learn our attachment styles. The same way we care about our astrology, we should care more about our attachment styles and our love language. Because majority of us have a distorted perspective regarding love because of what we were taught in our childhood. And I know a lot of us don't want to go back into our childhood, but it was so traumatic. But what we resist persists. And what we pretty much despise, we become. And what you ignore, it ends up becoming you. That's the crazy part. And that's why I want to share with you. Just know what your love language is. If you don't know what it is, if you don't understand why dynamics are happening the way that they are, look at that dynamic that your parents had. Look at the dynamics that you have seen through your childhood, and how has that affected you to think about love? Do you have trust issues? Do you have abandonment issues? Do you have codependency issues? And I don't say issues like there's something wrong with it. I say issues because these are distorted beliefs that are affecting what we desire, to the point that we self-sabotage, we procrastinate, we're unforgiving. You know, all of these things are coming and stemming from somewhere, and that's the work we have to do. And if you haven't watched my recent video about stop manifesting someone, I highly suggest go watch that, because a lot of us feel so lonely, feel so broken, feel so hurt, to the point that we think having another person is going to fulfill us. But the thing is, what you got to understand is that you can't manifest that power couple, that relationship, that harmonious love that you desire until you do the inner work, hence the shadow work, to recognize what has brought you to this point regarding relationships. And if you're the type of person that jumps to relationship, like I was, just know that you are going to keep repeating a pattern, just with a different face. And here's the crazy thing. It only gets worse. I'm just going to be honest. It only gets worse. People do come into your life to help you heal, but you have to meet yourself at a level so deep that you are actually seeking that depth in another person that has met themselves at the same level. Because if you only met yourself at a certain level, best believe you're only going to attract a person who has met themselves at the same level you are. So it's important to understand your own toxicity, your own shadows regarding love. Now let's get into it. Knowing the difference between toxic love versus real love. And the first one, this is a big one. This is a really, really big one that people get confused about. Lust or devotion. Toxic love starts out with lust. Majority of my relationships in my life has started out with being very sexual. Sexting or having sex too quickly. And there was never a building of the energy of the sexual polarities between one another because we rushed. And, we get so caught up to the point, like, for example, we go out to the club and we're looking for love. And all of a sudden, when we go fuck someone, we end up falling in love. But the thing is, that's not love, that's lust. That's why I highly love what Jim Carrey said. He's like, are you sure you were in love or are you just horny? I think you should masturbate. I love that saying because it's so true now that I'm maturing and knowing what I truly want in a relationship. And sometimes we need to understand that our own needs, our own sexuality, are we really here to devote to another person, or are we really here to get something from that person? Hence lust. We all lust over someone from their looks, from how they have sex or how they represent themselves, to the point that we're not really seeing what we can give to another person. This is why I don't suggest trying to manifest a person if you're only looking for what you want and not becoming that very thing that that person might need as well. It's very important to understand it's two people, not just you. So toxic love it comes from lust, but real love comes from devotion. What I mean by devotion is that you're showing up and yes, you're making it known that you're attracted to a person, but you're actually wanting to create something. Like me, I'm at a point in my life right now when the next relationship I have, I don't want to be touched that quickly. After 3 months, maybe depending on how it goes, maybe I would want to be intimate, physically intimate. But I believe after 3 months, after we get over the honeymoon phase, over the lustful attraction towards each other, you're gonna start seeing the yellow and the red flags. You're gonna start seeing them all after 3 months because you're out of that honeymoon phase. For me, I'm at a point in my life where I will rather learn how to fall in love with someone before I touch them. 11 as I say that, because to me that shows that it's my devotion, that I'm showing up, that I want to create something, and I want to see, are you on the same level I'm at? Not for you to be someone that I want you to be, but I don't want to get caught up in the potentiality of you being a particular person that might not exist, that only exists in my head. You get what I'm saying, you guys? So it's like real love is about devotion, showing up, making yourself known, being vulnerable and authentic. But toxic love is about lust, love bombing, only trying to exude something from another person and express your dominance, but not really seeing how you guys can come together and create something that is compatible. So that's one way to see toxic love versus real love. Now, the second one is, this is a huge one. Because now that we understand the true purpose behind a relationship is about building something for the benefit of two other people and actually trying to create something that's not only harmonious, but something that is so beautiful that it could create such a bountiful love in order to create healing. But the second thing, this is a huge one, to know the difference between toxic love versus real love, and that is attachment or adoration. Now, what I mean by adoration is that you adore the development of a connection with another person. You adore how you guys actually are compatible. You adore who the person is without trying to change them. That's real love. Now, toxic love is about attachment, meaning that you abandon yourself to be there for another person so they could see you, validate you, and try to The way I see attachment, because in relationships, even friendships, I had a lot of codependencies, attachments to people because of the potentiality I wanted them to be. And because of this, I was only abandoning myself and what I needed to give that person everything that they wanted, to the point that I was willing to give up my own happiness to make another person happy, even though I did not feel fulfilled at all. But the thing is, when you're always trying to be nice, that's a form of manipulation. And I had to realize I was a manipulator too, where I try to make this person see me for a particular way when I really wasn't that way. I was just being fake. And not only that, our attachments to people, yearning, being clingy. I used to be such a clingy motherfucker. Now I don't care who leaves my life. I don't care who ghosts me. If you want to bounce, bounce. You know, do you. No judgments. I'm at a point in my life where it's like, I'd rather have someone who will adore me, see me for who I am, and I want to give that in return, rather than the toxic love I used to give, where I was only attached to another person, trying to be someone that I'm not and try to manipulate them to be someone that they weren't in order to create something that probably wasn't even meant to be. So you get what I'm saying, you guys? So just know, be aware of your attachment styles. If you don't know that book called Attach, highly suggest you read it or listen to the audiobook, because it teaches you that you have 3 attachment styles. You have one where you have the anxiety attached, you have the avoidance, and then you have the secure. I'm not going to get in depth into that, but majority of people in society live from an anxious and avoidant attachment style, meaning that they're anxious and clingy and pretending to be someone they're not to receive love that might not be for them. Or you have avoidant people that run away from love because they see love as something very painful and they're uncommittable, and they're on and off, hot and cold. So you get what I'm saying? So just, it's very important to know that toxic love comes with attachments and conditions and falsity. And adoration really comes from pure acceptance of the imperfections of one another and trying to bring those imperfections into something magnificent and beautiful. So now the last thing I want to share with you to understand the true purpose behind relationships is that the purpose behind relationships, but also understanding the difference between toxic and real love, to understand the purpose behind a relationship, is comfort or growth. Now, this is a big one, you guys, for me, because, you know, I'm the type of person, I love to grow. I want to grow every day. I want to learn something new every day. I want to explore. I'm spontaneous. I got Leo on my moon, man. Leo is all about the fire. Leo is all about going out, getting shit done, creating memories. And, you know, I always attracted people who were lazy, who only wanted security. Now, I'm not saying security in like, you know, they didn't want a stability, you know, good finances, all that. What I mean by security is that, you know, trying to live up to the standards of society, meaning that, oh, we got to get a home, we got to get a good job, we got to get this, we got to get that, like society wants us to be. I'm not that type of person. I'm not the type of person who just wants to sit the fuck down and watch Netflix every single week in which, you know, I want to do things. I want to get things done. I want to meditate together. I want to heal together. I want us to see our patterns, that so we can create a legacy. You know, I want to be a generational curse breaker of my family, and I want that for my partner as well, you know. I'm all about that power couple shit. And it's because I truly see the potential within myself, and I truly see the potential within another person. But it's important to understand, see the difference between toxic and real love. Toxic love is all about comfortability. This is why people stay in relationships they are not happy in. But real love is all about growth, meaning that you guys are willing to go through the ins and out, the darkness and the light, in order to create something that is going to be beautiful, that is different than what you see in your society, what you've seen in your parents, what you've seen in your family, and everyone in your life. And that is the whole purpose of a relationship anyways, is a connection with two people coming together and breaking out these habits of comfortability that keep up in a state of not tapping into their full potential. I highly believe that if someone's going to come into my life, I want them to teach me, and I want to teach them. I've been in relationships where I feel like I'm always the bigger person. I'm always the one teaching. I'm always the one giving. And I'm tired. I'm so tired that I'm enjoying my singlehood right now. Do I want relationships? Absolutely. We all do. But at the same time, I gotta honor the fact that I haven't been honoring myself in a relationship to the point that I haven't really recognized what it is I truly desire within another person, and not trying to seek that, not trying to create that, but becoming that and allow that to attract to me that type of person on that same level. So it's important, you guys, to understand a relationship is here to teach you to grow out your toxicity, teach you to grow out your thought patterns and your paradigms and your belief systems from your parents and your family. A relationship teaches you how to heal. A relationship teaches you how to really learn how to love unconditionally. A relationship is fucking real. Meaning that you will have someone by your side who's going to show you what you're unconscious of within yourself, because they love you enough to be honest about what it is you're doing that is not serving your highest good. And I'm a huge believer, bro. I'm a huge believer. If someone says the truth within my face, even if my ego doesn't like it, I know they love me and I know they care for me. Because if they're willing to tell me the truth, they give a fuck. And that's what you want. You want someone to tell you the truth, not someone who agrees with you. Be like, yeah, babe, let's do that. Let's do this. Let's do that. Yeah, cool. You want to do that? Nah, none of that passive shit. That's toxic love. That's a way for, like a lot of men are like that, very passive, let the woman do their thing. That's why the woman doesn't feel grounded. Men are supposed to lead, and women are actually supposed to surrender but nurture. Now, this doesn't have to do with just gender. This actually is about energy, masculine and feminine energy. We all have that within us. We have to embody the nurturing side of us, but the grounding side of us that could take initiative, and understand that toxic love is about comfortability and real love is about the growth. Learning how to break out these cycles and being with someone who wants to do the same with you to create something that is going to be for the long haul, the longevity of the rest of your existence. So, beautiful beings, that's what I want to share today, the understanding the difference between toxic love and real life. And I hope that whatever you got out this video, that it teaches you the purpose behind a relationship. And a relationship is not about you forgetting about yourself. It's not about you only giving or just receiving. The purpose of a relationship is here to teach you to grow. It's here to teach you about unconditional love. It's here to teach you about acceptance, about forgiveness, and about true intimacy. And intimacy is not about sex or physical touch. Intimacy means into me you see, into you I see. I see the hurt, I see the pain, I see what you've been through. But what can we do together to override all of that pain, to create a love that we've been yearning for? You get what I'm saying? We all desire a relationship because we all want to feel the love that we have neglected to receive when we were a child. And until you do the inner work to heal your inner child, and even if you are in a relationship, when you do the inner work to heal your inner child and to see what it is that you've been neglected as a child, then you could become that version of yourself and learn how to give that. And to the point, you also recognize the person that you're with. Are they good for me? Are they meant for me? Or if you are single, then you'll be able to go out and see, is this person worthy of me? Or if I'm worthy of them. And of course, we're all worthy of everything our heart desires, but we got to recognize what makes us unworthy, what makes us worthy, what makes us prideful, what makes us toxic, what makes us actually lovable, since we're all lovable, but what actually makes us authentic. So just know, you guys, everything I share with you is to assist you in recognizing what is good for your heart. Not good for your ego, not good for your punani or your little pee-pee down there. But what is good for your heart, for your soul, for your mind, for your being, for your existence, and being that, and actually being able to give that to another person, so you can create the reciprocation of the way the infinity symbol is. Only a reciprocation of giving and receiving in a harmonious way. And that's the whole point of relationship. But now, you beautiful beings, that's all I wanted to share with you guys. I really hope this brought some clarity, some activations, and some assistance within your relationship or within your singlehood. And just know, I do have I think it's a 4-week program. Yes, a 4-week program all about union therapy. Either if you're in a relationship, twin flame, soulmate dynamic, or even if you're just single, if you want to understand your relationship styles and the type of patterns or why you're attracted to particular people in your life, then I highly suggest just go to my link in my website and book your appointment today for that 4-week program so we could tap into the reason why you are where you are in love and start to receive that love that you know you deserve. But until then, you beautiful beings, I really hope this helps. I love you guys so much. Thank you for spending your time with me here today. Until then, have a blissful day, and I'll see you on the next one. Only love.